Hey guys, Nigel here, we are back at it again. And as you can see, we've got the bulkhead on now, and that was quite a job doing that on my own. I am determined to put this whole thing back together on my own without any help. Things may change a little bit when it comes to the roof, but I managed to get it apart on my own. So what I did with the tub, I put it on 4 straps and ratcheted it up into the roof, drove the chassis out and then let it down onto this wooden frame that it's on. In the background, back there you can see it in the background. So basically I've now got to try and get this tub on air on my own, and I'm going to use an engine crane and the internal tie down hooks. So we'll see if it works. So I'm going to let you see that. In the meantime, I'll show you what I've done on here. So starting at the back here, you can see we've got the rear brake calipers all painted. We've got the brand new stainless steel pistons in them as well. I remember I did a video on that before. I made new brake pipes for the back because they were rusting a little bit here, and basically I didn't want a chance sort of rebending them because they used to go around the now non-existent anti-roll bar mounts. So I've got the fuel tank here, got the plumbing all there, obviously plumbed in the locker, plumbed in the breathers now, and I've wax oiled inside all these box sections now, the terra firma box sections, so they're all nice and solid. You've all seen the lovely looking exhaust before from Ali Sport. Got all this cable tied onto here with the original fittings and everything, and then we've got protective sheathing on here going up through there, along the chassis, and then up into here. The actual Ashcroft tubing I've left in a big loop. I'm going to tie it up somewhere, I don't know where, because I haven't yet decided where the compressor is going to go. So obviously it's going to terminate. I don't really want the compressor under the bonnet. I'd rather have the compressor down here in where the toolbox is going to be. So, but we can see now the bulkhead's all painted lovely. You've seen that before, and all looking good. As you know, I'm using the Gwyn Lewis wading kit, but I've put all the original pipes back in because that's the way it's designed to be used. It's designed to use these pipes, and then he's got straight 6mm connectors in there. So you may as well reuse this piping because it's all good. None of it's kinked or burnt or torn or anything. So reuse all that, and then just got these all clipped together with the original clip to hold them in there. Got these brackets on now. These are all obviously freshly painted and everything. Made sure I've used the right nuts and bolts everywhere. Got a few grommets in. Getting this heater in is a complete joke. We'll video that when it comes to it. I don't know how they do it in the factory, but getting that heater to go into there and through that hole over this bridge here is an absolute nightmare. I don't know how they do it in the factory, but we'll see if we can work it out. So the wiring loom's all done. We'll go around the front here. Again, on the front axle, got all that all wax on there. I've only just done it so you can see it's all wet in there. So it's going to start running out, I expect. Another thing to look at, I've noticed these box sections here on the ends of the axle where the bump stops go. You can't get in there with paint, so I've wax oiled in there as well. So that's something you might want to consider on yours. So same on this side here, I've got wax oil all in that box in there. And then going around here, I've got the wiring loom coming up now through into the bulkhead, so things are starting to clip up. Got the steering bracket here all loose. We're going to be fitting that. I sprayed the steering column yesterday, so leave that a few days for the paint to dry. Got the earthing strap there. Make sure we clean the metal up behind the paint, behind the strap, so you don't get any paint between there, get a bad earth. Wiring loom's coming up through here. I've got the rear wiring loom, got the cover on the fuel filter now. I've done the breather hose. This is the breather hose from Britpart. I've got a feeling it's the wrong stuff, but we shall see. If it splits again, well, hey. So basically, I've got new Jubilee clips for here. I've got new Jubilee clips on here. Obviously, I've got a bung in there to stop anything getting in. And there's diesel in it because I've been blowing it, and obviously there was diesel in there and it's blown through. But this is just absolutely pathetic. This is Land Rover's excuse for a fuel vent. So great, nice one. I intend to extend that and come up round and then go off up with those breather pipes as well. So I intend to come from here back around, so it forms a loop, perhaps even go underneath that mount down there, and then go up, perhaps up this side and across or something, I don't know. But I certainly don't want to leave that like that. That's ridiculous. So there we go, I've got the wiring down here on the bag. I have to get all that out and run that up through before we put the tub on, and also fit this bracket on the back as well before we fit the tub on. So there we go. So wish me luck. I've got the tub over here, as you can see, all dirty now where it's been rained on, and these are the hooks I'm going to use, 4 of them there, and the engine crane is in the garage. I'm going to try and lift it on with that. Wish me luck. What are you doing, Jess? Hey, where's your body? Right, so wiring loom is in now, all clipped and taped up here. As you know, we've got wax oil in the chassis, so that's all good. You can see it creeping out of the holes here. Make sure the wire loom's out of the way so the tub doesn't catch on it. Make sure the breather hose and the cabling here for the fuel, it's not the fuel pump, it's just the level sensor in there with the gauge. There is no fuel pump, the 2.4 short wheelbase. So there we go, so that's all in. Now the the tub is on the crane, so I can lift that up, and I've messed around with all the ropes and got it all level so it lifts up level. And then we've got the rear mounting in here. This is the plate that goes across the back. These are where your bolts go through, and then you've got your bolt holes on this side here, one there, there's 4 of them, and that holds the tub. This basically, the tub bolts to that, and then you put bolts up through the rear crossmember, and this is why they've done this, rather than have the tangs on the crossmember like they used to have, because the crossmember then had to be straight. So they can do this, slot those holes at the top of the crossmember that I just showed you, and that allows them to have the rear crossmember all bent like it is. So there's your tolerance. So hopefully we're going to see in a minute that this is all going to work out, and it's going to bolt up at the front up here, and it's all going to work out and be nice and straight and level back here. So wish me luck. What I need to do is get that bracket and just loosely bolt it in the tub first. So that's what I'm going to do. Something I'd forgotten was these confounded shock mounts. Remember, I crushed all the chassis because I followed the guidelines. I think they tell you to go to 45 newton meters or something, and it's too much, it squashes the chassis. So just put them on and just pull them down. So I'm putting these on, as you can see, copper slip on the threads, okay, and then wax oil all up and down the bolts so the bolts don't rust, and then also wax oil all over this for when it's sat there. So just my bit of advice really to make things last a bit longer. Okay, so that's them on, as you can see, all wax oiled up and everything. If you're wondering why I'm not bothering painting springs and shocks, fitting shocks and stuff, I'm going to be fitting an aftermarket suspension kit from Gwyn Lewis, but I just can't decide what to get. So once we've got it all back together, then I'll do a fitting video, and it'll be the same as you guys doing it, because it's easy. It's great for you to watch me change a fuel filter when I can just stand here and do it. But when there's something in the way, it's like those mud flap kits we do. It's easy when the tub's upside down in front of you. We'll see what it's like putting it in upside down, but well, the right way up actually. So just have a good look at all this finally before we cover it all up. So all the shiny bits are going to go away and get covered up with the tub. And I'm going to put the camera on and then probably fast forward it so you can watch me struggle. I just hope the tub doesn't fall off the crane. gloves to protect the paint, stop anything getting scratched. There we go, all sat on its rubber mountings, and there, and in a minute when I get it all squared up I'll show you how that rear cross member looks. So there we go, it's looking like a Land Rover again. And there we are guys, all done, back put away. I haven't put the tub on solid yet. I don't know if a lot of you realise this, but the actual tub is actually what clamps the fuel tank down, and obviously the fuel tank has balloon slightly, so it's slightly lifting the tub up. So I'm going to see if we get some warm weather, if it'll settle down rather than me trying to pull it down. But basically it's sitting about 10mm high at the front. If I clamp the back down, it's sitting about 10mm high at the front. So I'm going to see if it'll just settle and then pull it down. Maybe it's designed to pull down that hard, I don't know. But anyway, but I'll show you how that rear cross member looks. I'm pretty pleased with it, bearing in mind this isn't even finally fitted yet. But you can see now we haven't got that horrible TD5 tuck in at the end. It's nice and straight. So there we go. In fact the body is on a slight angle, you can see how I can move it still, it's all loose. But there we are. So happy with that. Everything squares up, door openings measure up alright and everything, so that's good. The inside all painted. And there we are. And then I've just got all the bolts and cleaned up now to mount all this down here. There's a couple of brackets up under here. I can show you them. No. There's a couple of brackets that go from here, where my finger is, back onto the top of the main cross member, and put those on before you put the tub on. I guess how I know to do that, because I didn't, and it's a bastard to put them in after. So there we are. Anyway, oh, one other thing, these plates here, I sprayed these with a product from Rust-Oleum, and it's called Alu-Galv or something. Don't buy it, it's absolute crap. I've shaken it for like 5 minutes and it comes out like sandpaper, and when you rub it, as you can see, you get silver on your fingers. It's bloody awful stuff. And the overspray just gets everywhere. And it's like graphite. It just, you know, like graphite just gets there. It's awful stuff. So there we go. But there we are, all done. So we can crack on with getting her all sealed up now, so I can get on the electrics in the interior, and we should be done. So just see how she looks. You're looking like a Land Rover again, almost. And there's Jess. She's been helping. Jess, you've been helping, haven't you? Is that your Land Rover there? Is it? See you all later, guys.